Chris, thank you so much for joining me. In today's episode, we're going to go over 4 small changes that you can make that'll result in massive changes in 2021. Please smash the like button. Let's get into today's content. Number 1, the first small change that you can make is just listing every day. Right now, I have 10,000 items. I'm doing roughly $45,000 a month. I'll refresh the page for people just so they don't think I'm making this up. Around $1,300 to $2,000 a day in sales in this store. I am just following the lead of Tech and Sports. You guys know him. We created a Facebook group called the Resellers Podcast, and he posts every day his 250 listings a day, which is insane. So all I want to do this year is be consistent with listing 100 items per day, all 365 days. If I do that, I should be able to double my sales from 45,000 to 90,000, which will put me in that 1 million a year bucket. That's pretty cool. So I'm super excited about being consistent. That's number 1, and maybe the most important habit that you can do. Just start with one listing and continue from there. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the book Atomic Habits, because I'd like to integrate a book into as many episodes as I can, and James Clear has an awesome rundown of how to build good habits. I actually pulled out maybe the top 30 things that I learned from that book. I made a new spreadsheet for you guys. It's called bit.ly/reseller instructions. Inside this instruction book, I give you guys the 3-step plan to build a $1,000 a week resale business. It's free. So hop onto this document. I'm going to update all my stuff this year into this document, and at the bottom of every of this document, it's going to have all the tips and tricks from every single YouTube video. So I'm actually going to document all of this so I can try my best to not repeat myself this year. So there's going to be a lot of really good stuff. I'm a lot more organized this year, so I'm excited. But here, I just put in here, if I can double from around 50 to 80 listings a day to 100 plus listings a day, I should be able to double my sales from 45,000 to 90,000. Accountability is huge, so that's why I'm in this Facebook group. Also, massive news. Those of you that have joined the Patreon group, inside this, it's a $35 level. We now have coaching from Hustle at Home Mom, and it's awesome. She's done $100,000 while raising 2 young boys, and she's going to be offering coaching for the people in the Facebook group every single Wednesday. So that doesn't cost any additional money. It's the same. You'll get coaching from Ashley on Wednesdays, from me Monday through Friday. Tech will do coaching on Tuesday evenings. What we're trying to do is provide a group that can help people scale anywhere from just starting all the way up to $25,000 a month profit and even higher. So it's really important to understand you want to focus on small habits, not something that's beyond you, something that you can actually do, and listing is going to be number 1. In Atomic Habits, he talks about a 1% improvement actually equals 37 times the initial result after only 1 year. That means if you start with 1 listing and you make a 1% improvement to your process, after a year, you're now listing 37 items a day. That's $370 if you make $10 per item. That's 6 figures after just 1 year of making 1% improvements. That's huge. So in this document that's free, I actually go over the steps to do it, which are, number 1, you come up with how much profit you want to make. How much profit you actually make. So in this example of $1,000 a week, you buy stuff for $1,000, you sell for $3,000, you deduct your expenses, and what's left is your profit. In this example, you work on it 40 hours a week. So if you divide 1,000 by 40 hours a week, you made $25 an hour. That's enough for most people to actually quit their job. So that's the overview, and then I broke it down even more specifically, how you pay taxes, and then the different systems that you need to set up: sourcing, sorting, photography, listing, shipping, customer service, inventory system, your business setup. You don't need a resale license, and you don't need an actual company to run your resale company. You can just do it as a sole proprietor, but it's important to understand how all of that works, and none of these steps is actually especially difficult, but it does require a lot of paying attention, and it takes longer than you think. So not harder than you think, but it takes longer than you think. That's how it's been for me in the last 4 years of doing this full time. So that's it. Figure out, buy something, buy low, sell high, whatever's left, that's what you pay tax on. Improve these systems so that you take less time doing them. That's it. Okay, so that is the 3-step plan. Once you have that in place, with reselling, you'll find, especially with entrepreneurship, there's a lot of doing it alone. It's kind of like a solo endeavor. That's why we created this Facebook group, and it has been epic so far. There's been literally probably over 50 posts a day of people sharing how many items they posted, what kind of things they're buying. Our goal is to help you develop a listing habit and also to develop your niche of what you want to sell in. Once you do that for a while, you're going to actually know where to get it. That takes me into the second thing that I'm working on this year. This is the second small habit. Habit number 1 was develop a listing habit. Number 2 is daily research. I want to brainstorm and work on one replenishable per week. So for me, honestly, I want a $30 ASP. So that's me listing $3,000 a day. Now, realistically, with the stuff that I sell, my ASP on the low end is $22. So for me to list $122 items a day, that's 2,200 listed, I'm not going to reach the million mark. I need to be at least 3,000 a day. So in order to do that, I'm going to spend a lot of time in Terapeak and researching what sells well. So I'm going to give you guys an example right now. What's selling really well and what's trending, you can actually go on to Google Trends and type in what's hot. If you guys are paying attention, the last couple of months, we've had a presidential election. It's been on fire as far as traffic. You can see Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, is probably one of the most popular presidents ever. So if you look at the items that sell from him, this is teaching me about replenishables. You can see this listing right here did almost $50,000 in sales on one listing. So you do not need to list every day if you can just relist the identical item. Here's an example of a store. This is probably $1 million a year store. It's called eCoins, and if you look at their store, they have 3,283 replenishables. Every single thing in their store, they have more than one item. Okay, so for me, step 2 is daily research. I'm in here looking for what sells well, what I can private label. Ideally, in my case, I would actually like to make the item. So if I was selling coins or Donald Trump memorabilia, what I would try to do is manufacture it myself so that I don't need to wait to get it from a distributor or a wholesaler. I want to actually produce my own, because with this type of game, you basically need to pick a niche, develop it, and then quickly adapt, because the trend is going to change. So it's important to pay attention when you're building replenishables to what's selling well. One way to figure out how many are selling, you click on it and then you click on the number sold to find out how often it's selling. You can see this is selling maybe about once or twice a day. So come in here, and you guys know my 10 by 10 by 10 rule, which is sell 10 things for $10, profit 10 times a day. That's really difficult because most things on eBay sell for $12 or less. So you might actually need hundreds of items that you only make $1 or $2 on. So pay attention to what people are doing right. There's always a lot to learn. So here's another example of another seller that's doing the same thing. Just decided to pick Donald Trump stuff because he's insanely popular, right? So you come in here and you look at what's selling well. None of this stuff is really proprietary. If you guys don't know, Donald Trump political likeness you can actually produce without a Vero violation. No one from the Donald Trump campaign will reach out to you and say, don't put Donald's face on something, because it's just like presidents are not part of that Vero violation situation. So daily research is really important because you need to narrow down your niche, and everyone should be listing often and then also working on replenishables, because here are stores. This store has 470 items and is selling around the same volume as me, maybe a little bit more, about 80 items a day with only 480 listings. That's ridiculous, right? They're selling 1,600 items a month with only 400 listings. So they have basically 400% sell-through rate. Sell-through rate is how fast your items sell versus how many you have. So for me, with 10,000 items, I'm like selling around 1,800 items per month. You can see here the sales are probably 50 to 100 a day, depending on what I'm listing, and it'll range between 1,300 and 3,000 depending on what my promoted listings rate is at, if I'm doing any special sales, if I'm doing free shipping. It depends on what I'm trying to do that specific day. I do toggle different things to make the traffic go up and down. You can click on the performance tab up here, click on the sales, and it will tell you how many items you're selling, how much profit you're making. You can scroll down and see, okay, I spent $2,000 was collected by eBay in the last 30 days and sent to the taxes, and I spent $17,000 on shipping and eBay fees. So ideally, I would like to be at twice this much. So definitely utilize your seller hub and look at what's going on and adjust your store to make it run well. Okay, so that's the second thing. Number 1, daily listings. Number 2, daily research. Number 3, daily networking. Very important. So talk to people who are like-minded. Talk about what's going on, and then also you want to build supplier lists. And this is what I want everyone to do right now at home. First, smash the like button. Second, go up here in the eBay, type in lot, L-O-T, scroll down on the left side and click all listings within 25 miles of your zip code, okay? And then put free local pickup. The reason why I do this is because I like to find business wholesalers that are local to me, okay? I'm not going to recommend any online sites except for like govdeals.com, because I'm going to look for aggregators of auctions and then narrow down to what's near you. So near me, there are 4,000 lots. So I can look through here. I can sort by distance first. This is like within walking distance, or I could go to highest price and look at the largest type of lots to purchase. So here's somebody that's just down the street selling Tom Brady graded rookie cards. Tom Brady, I think, is from the Bay Area. I think he's from the peninsula, so it makes sense that you would find that here. Somebody selling their Beanie Baby collection for 25 grand. Good luck. But as far as looking for lots, what I'm looking for is a business seller. Okay, so this is interesting here. You have a lot of 10 power edges. These I think these are servers. So you can see here, North Bay Parts, Emeryville, California. This is like 10 miles from me. So I go in here and look, okay, this is an electronics recycler. This is most likely a business, not just somebody selling stuff out of their closet. This would be who I'm targeting. In my list of things to do, I recommend that you have 8 to 10 suppliers. Actually, I need to type that down. Your focus should be on getting 8 to 10 suppliers. And remember, if you want this list, it's free. bit.ly/reseller instructions. Hop on it and start leveling up, because research is really, really important. Okay, so what I'm doing is looking for business suppliers that are local to me. This is huge, okay? Because if you can drive there, you have a massive advantage over the other people who you're competing against, because you don't have to pay for inbound shipping. And ideally, if you can set up that relationship, they can supply you over and over and over again with similar stuff. Okay, that's really important. So, gonna go back here to our document again and go over number 4, which is Daily Refinement, which is the name of this channel. And it's basically improving your day and setting up your schedule. I went through James Clear's book and wrote down all the things I thought were epic. Like, as an example, breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a large oak tree, and starting a new habit is like cultivating a small little sapling. Man, I cannot agree with that more. It's like if you were trying to develop a habit of eating raw cauliflower, that would be very difficult, right? Because you've never, I'm assuming most people listening do not do that. So think about how challenging it would be to start that. But if you had been doing that for 10 years, like Tech and Sports has been listing over 100 items for 10 plus years, okay, if you were to do that, his listing habit is like a large oak tree, okay? It's not going anywhere. That's what you want to get to. And man, just think to yourself, okay, I'm building this oak tree of listing. And if you do that, your life's going to change, and you're going to make more money than you can spend. So it's really important to think about your life as systems. That's why I really like engineers, because they break things down, they figure out what the problem is and try to solve it. So I don't want to go through all of these like 30 really good ideas I pulled from this book, but you can go to bit.ly/reseller instructions and get this book, or the summary of the notes from me. You can buy it on Amazon, or sometimes I find this book for free on Spotify and YouTube. So just look up Atomic Habits, level yourself up. I have a partnership with Audible, so you can get a free Audible trial, audibletrial.com/daily refinement. You can get a free audiobook if you've never used the service before. So I want to go over how to use this sheet again before we take off for today. So Our Facebook group this year in 2021, I'm going to try something different. If you join the Facebook group, I'm actually going to give you my reseller field guide for free. So I've never done that before, but I normally charge separately for it. But if you want to join the Facebook group on Patreon at the $35 level, you can either join through me, and this is a $35 level, or you can actually support Ashley, Hustle at Home Mom, because she's doing 1 hour coaching on Wednesdays. My level and Ashley's level are the same though. You get all of the coaching and the Facebook group, and I'm going to throw in my reseller field guide, which I normally charge $35 for anyway. So you're just getting like the Facebook group for free. I'm going to try that out and see how it goes and see if people are into it, because in my opinion, information is free. It's just about actually executing it. Get in there, building that habit, actually getting it done. So in this sheet, I have a list of all the different products that people use, all the different lighting kits. I go over that material that I talk about that the items stick to. It is actually, the one that I use is called utility fabric from Joann's, although some people have experimented with the sandwich material, and I could maybe sell that on my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to just order it directly from me. I guess I could go to Joann's and have them cut me certain amounts, and then I can ship it to you if you're not near a Joann's. But all the different hangers that people are using, like as an example, this popped up in the Facebook group today, this hanger that's adjustable. So, I know some people use a big hanger, some people use a mannequin, some people do flat lay. For me personally, as a clothing seller, I like to have the hanger right on the shoulder seam. Okay, so I think the way clothing fits makes it more or less expensive. So if you decide to use the adjustable hanger, it's going to look perfect every single time. If you want an idea of what that looks like, you can go to my store. I'll click on newly listed to give you guys an idea of how I list it. For me, I think pants look the best flat lay, and then I use a hanger. So you can, for what it's worth, you can look at my listing and see, do you think that this looks natural, or do you think that you want, this is just how I do it. So look at how people do things, model. I'm trying to present the item the best that I can, because the customer can't actually touch the item. So I can see here, I'm trying to present like the content, what it's made of, the size, the front and the back. Let me know if you think my pictures look okay. There's nothing really fancy about the way that I do it. I'm just using a hanger. In fact, this hanger looks ghetto to me because it has a medium button on it. So I need to get clear hangers on that. So again, copy the people that you want to do well. I'm copying multi-million-dollar clothing sellers because I want a maybe not multi, but at least $1 million in revenue clothing store. So copy the people that you want to be like. Join our group because it's been awesome, and you get an access to my reseller field guide. Also, I want to chat about that for just one moment before we take off. This is let me pull it up. This is the course that I have. When I made this course, I was making between $5,000 and $10,000 a month profit. I'm almost like triple that now, so I'm going to redo this because I've learned a lot recently, and I want to update all the processes so that they're more relevant now, and hopefully I can save you guys even more time than just listening through my struggles over the last 4 years. Hopefully I can save you a buttload of time in this upcoming year. So I appreciate you guys' time. Definitely please smash the like button. Please reach out to me at chris@dailyrefinement.com if you have any questions. But I appreciate everyone's time. I'm very grateful that you guys are here. Let's have an awesome 2021, and I'll see you guys next time.